Welcome to Chapter 10, Part 3, and the final screencast for Alice. We're going to talk about arrays and array visualization. I know you started to read about it, but hopefully seeing it, visualizing it will help. Okay, so as you know, an array is a collection of objects that's organized in a specific order, and we talked about this a little bit in class. It's a little bit like a matrix. And in Alice, the elements, which are the components, are the same type. They don't necessarily have to be objects. They can also be numbers, colors, etc. So one way to think about it is it's kind of like a CD. A CD has a certain number of songs listed in the order recorded. I'm thinking to myself, do you even know what CDs are anymore? Hopefully you do. And you can play any specific song by selecting its number or play all the songs in sequence. Arrays in Alice are really similar. It's a data structure, and as we said, we can organize objects or information. And just like on a CD, you can't actually see the digital bits of the song. You can't usually see the digital information in an array. In other words, it's not visible. So when we talk about a matrix, it's not visible. But what Alice does is it helps you visualize it. And this does it with lists as well. We just haven't played with that very much. So there's something, there's a class called visualizations, and specifically array visualizations, and you can pick that to be in your list of objects. So what we're going to do is create a visualization of bugs, because why wouldn't you? So you add 5 bugs to the world. It's not an array yet, just 5 bugs. And then you're going to initialize the array. And it's a lot like making a list. So you add the object, a dialog box is going to pop up, and it lets you add the bugs to the array. So first you add the array, and then, as I said, this adds up. And just like with lists, you're going to have item 0 is going to be the first thing, and you would stick in the beetle. And then what happens is once you do that, each of the bugs is automatically moved to its location in the array, where this is location 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And the location number is called the index. Just like for the loop, it's called the count. For the array, it's called the index. So the elements, what happens is when you have an array visualization object, there's a built-in variable, so you don't have to create it. There's a built-in variable. It's automatically declared an object level variable. It's named elements that keeps track of the objects or where they're located. All right, so you go to the properties of the array visualization, and you'll see it right there. And the order is in the elements variable, so beetle, mantis, scarab is going to match the order of the objects in the array, and the order is really important. Those of you who've worked with matrices know that to be true. Okay, so let's take a look at the demo. Hang tight. Okay, so here's our array visualization object. I've clicked on it. It's that yellow thing right there. If you look at it a little bit more closely, that you can see it's just a little tray where they sit. And we've already put the 5 bugs into it. And if you click on the properties, you can see here's the elements, and it's listed just like we did. Let me play it for you, and then I'm going to show you how to write this code. So what this code does is it says, all right, we're going to definitely have him turn, and then we're going to randomize it and have someone different turn. So if I hit restart again, you'll see that guy and then the middle one, and then that guy, and he gets called 2. Okay, very exciting code. So what does it look like? Well, item 3, that was this guy. I guess he's a B. Item 3 was the B, and so the method said we're always going to have item 3 turn one left 1 revolution. And then we're going to have a randomly selected one. So let me show you how to write the code for both of these things. There are a few ways you can do it. One way is you can just click on the array visualization and drag that in. And you can use the index like that. So, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do it that way. Item number 3, rats. Okay, sorry, my brain froze. I'm back. You can drag in the elements and do this, and you can pick which item you want. So I want item 3, and then let's have the item 3 turn left 1 revolution, and you can see that matches exactly. Here's another way to do it. You can just pick any of the bugs. All right, so let's say Ladybug. We drag her in, and she's going to turn left 1 revolution, and then you can go from there and drag back to array visualization, drag the elements in, and set it up this way. Okay, you see either one of those works. Okay, and then the last one, how I get this one, you could just take this, and then you go to the world functions, and you get the random number, and you're going to do item random number, and the maximum is 5. And the reason maximum 5 is even though you have items 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, this will make it work, and then you want integer only so that it doesn't get confused. Okay, so that's hopefully you can figure out how to do it, and if we hit play, it's going to work just the same way. Okay, so like we saw, an index is used to order the elements in an array. To access the individual elements, we used an instruction that used the index to select the element, and an element can be randomly selected. So this one talks about using index number 3, and this was the random one. And the maximum value should be the number of elements, not the index number. That's important, okay? And also to select the integer only option. All right, you've heard this word from math class, I hope, permutation. It's changing the order around. That's what a permutation is, right? You've heard maybe even outside of math class, you've heard the permutation word. So what we're going to do is I'm going to teach you how to do a swap method that exchanges the positions of 2 elements in an array. Suppose you've decided that you want the bee to be in a different place and the ladybug to be in a different place. So here's the storyboard, and we're going to use parameters to make it more applicable, so it's not just 2 specific ones. Here's the point, though. We need to have a temporary location to hold one object. Let's say we pull the bee out. Well, we need to put him somewhere. He can't just sort of float in air. So we put the bee in his temporary holding location and move the ladybug to where the bee was and put the bee where the ladybug was. Hopefully you can follow that. So here's the storyboard. You've got 2 different items, 2 different indices, and we're going to move one of them to a temporary location, put the second one where the first one was, and put the original in where the second was. Okay, so you can see it's a little platform. This is called object visualization. This is going to be our holding pen for them, our place that we put them while we're swapping them out. So let me show you what that looks like. Okay, so here's the code written for this. Let me play it for you. It's pretty cool. I'm only going to have it loop 1 time. It's actually meant to loop 5 times. Okay, so you can see that this one is going to go hold there. He's going to scoot over, and the bee will go back. And I kind of like the way they light up. It makes it a little bit easier to see. Isn't that nice? Okay, so let's look at the code for this. What's so interesting is that array visualization and object visualization come with their own methods, which is not that exciting maybe to you, but there's a special one in front, and it's the let one. So if you drag it in, it lets, and we're just going to put in any old, whatever, it doesn't matter. Let the object, oops, I didn't mean to do that one. That's okay. All right, the index one, let it equal a certain, and you can see it's blue, so it's a function. So let the array visualization, let's pull in our parameter, index 1, and it's going to equal the value at index 2. So I'm going to now click on the functions going along with the array visualization, and here it is. It's right here. The value at array visualization, I'll just pick any number, and now I'm going to draw in index 2. So hopefully you can see how to code this. Let me get rid of that. And then I want to show you how to code the let the object, same thing with the object visualization. If I go to methods, I've got a let object visualization. Okay, anything is fine. And then I'm going to drag in the function for array visualization again, right here, and put that in right here, and just drag in index 1 again. So that's how to code it. Let's go through why this works. So the idea is that we put whatever's at index 1, and for swap, it's totally random. So put one of these characters is going to go hang out at object visualization. Meanwhile, we're going to have the index 1 thing become, so move number 2 over to number 1, and move into number 2's spot what was in the object visualization. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me do it one more time. I'm going to hit play a few times so you can watch. So beetle, whatever that thing is. Okay, so that's the idea, and ideally you can loop it 5 times or whatever number of times you want, and it will just keep on playing. Okay, lots of fun. If you got nothing going on over Thanksgiving break, you can just play this over and over again. Okay. So what did you learn from this one? You saw the let instruction, and that comes with the that comes with the code, the object and the array visualization. It comes with those, and those are methods that are built in, and it is used to relocate an element in an array, and then it updated the variable called elements. Oh, we forgot to look at that. Let's go back and look at that. Okay, so I want you to watch the elements and see how this changes as it swaps out. You can see 1, 2, 3. You can see how 5, ladybug, the words got cut off a little bit. Here, I'll drag them over. Okay, ready? Here we go. So watch it. Nothing is in there, and then it gets replaced. That's really cool. So the whole time it's updating itself. All right, I think that's exciting. And then we also saw this, the object visualization. It's a temporary holding space, and it's not part of the array. Okay, it's also possible to walk through an array just the same way that you can walk through a list, accessing each element of the array the same way that you accessed each element of the list. So let me show you one more. This is the last slide, very exciting. Let me show you one more demo. Okay, let me play it for you. So it's just going to go one by one, making these guys turn around. Okay, not that exciting. It's not that different either from the rocket and kicking the leg. So what you do is inside the complicated version of the loop, and you don't have to do anything. This comes with it. I'll prove it to you. If I drag in loop and I just release it and I say show complicated version, all this shows up. Now you wanted to do it up into for 5 times, incrementing by 1. And then you've seen this before. You go to the value at array visualization. You just drag it in like that. Come on. Okay, well, clearly it's, oh, I know what I have to do. Grab anybody, have him turn, what did we just say? I don't know. We'll say turn right at full revolution. And then you're going to drag in the value at the array visualization and put it in for there. Okay? And you want to drag an index, and you can put it right in like that. Okay, so that's how you make it count. The loop thing is really useful. Here, we'll do it one more time just because it's so much fun. And you can see it's going through it once, and it goes through it again. Okay, so what are the concepts you just... Okay, so we just use the complicated form of the loop instruction. It's really easy. Most of it is built in for you. You use the index variable that comes with the loop, and you can drag it into let the array thing do it. So, so when you have a loop with an array, you can access successive, meaning in order, elements of the array. And that's it. That's your last screenshot. That's your last slide. Hope you learned lots. Now go program.